right, what's going on, Woodshop? New year, new shop. Yeah, that's what this video is called. So I'm actually in my third house in under 9 months. It's been crazy. Took a real long break from YouTube while I was on a different assignment for a real short period of time. I had to leave my 4x8 workbench in Kansas when I moved. Turns out you can't fit everything into a 26-foot moving truck. Found that out the hard way, and the wife said the bench had to stay, so that's what stayed. So I wasn't really set up for woodworking at the last place, but I'm here now in North Carolina. I'm ready to set up a shop. That's what this video is about. And let me tell you just real quick, North Carolina, I think, is the woodworking capital of the United States. It's insane. There's an abundance of tools I've been able to grab for great deals off Facebook Marketplace. You can kind of see them behind me without alluding to them too much. So I've added a lot of capabilities to my shop in just 2 weeks for great deals. I've got a rockler and a woodcraft reel nearby. I've gone like 3 times already. I want to go again, so you'll see some videos there. But for this video, we're going to get tackling turning this space, a 2-car garage, into this. So you see it on the screen now. Basically, I'm going to bring one half of this garage up to being a workshop, fully fledged with lots of storage, adding some things that I didn't have in Kansas, while also maintaining the ability to put a car in that side of the garage if I wanted to use this as a 2-car garage, mainly because my wife likes to park in the garage. So, gonna do what she says. Happy wife, happy life. What we're gonna do today, though, is get started on this rolling table saw in-feed, out-feed table that you see on the screen now, a little bit more in detail from the overall picture. I've gone ahead and used SketchUp. I've learned how to use it in the last week, built out all the plans, everything like that. So that's what you'll see today. I'll be happy to release those plans to anybody. I can do another video dedicated on building things in SketchUp. There are lots of tutorials out there, though. It took me about a week to learn it and design everything I need all the way down to the cut sheets for everything that you see in this build. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'd like to tackle it all today. Don't know if that'll happen. At the very least, it'll be a part 1. We'll get through it. Let's get started. Man, let me tell you guys, it's gonna be difficult working in such a small space. I'm already tripping on things, which is never great around power tools, but that's why we're doing this. We're getting some storage and organization mounted to the wall so I can get rid of these black totes that are just taking up a massive amount of room, and then we'll be putting our Dewalt Table Saw inside the rolling workbench, which will clear up that footprint a lot, and then this miter saw. This one will get sold eventually, and I'll upgrade to a Bosch axial glide so that I can put it up against the wall, and that'll get rid of this big space. But man, this is tricky. Let's get into cutting down some of these studs. Right, so we're starting with obviously the bottom of the workbench, building the frame. And something that I just want to point out to you guys that'll carry on throughout the rest of the build, and you'll see it on the SketchUp plans, is I've kind of assembled this thing or laid it out on the cut sheet like a giant puzzle. So I took my assembled project and then labeled each piece with a letter of the alphabet, and then on the cut sheet I put the corresponding letter so that I know which piece I'm cutting goes where, and I kind of did it in chronological order of the build. And you'll notice that several of my pieces, I can't really show you with these 2 big pieces, have letters on them, and that's why they do. The next thing I want to do is I hate using, just construction lumber, studs, pine especially, for anything that has to do with woodworking. It's just, they're warped, they're gross, they're rounded, they're not good. But something you can do, especially even if you don't have a jointer or a planer, everybody knowing that a 2x4 is really just 1.5 by 3.5 inches. It's not really 2 inches by 4 inches anymore. It used to be. But what you can do to square away your lumber and get rid of those rounded corners to make everything fit a little bit nicer without using real joinery is to just cut a 1/4 inch off of each side. So a total of a 1/2 inch off the overall width of the 2x4, and that will square it away and bring it down to 1.5 by 3 inches. And that's what I built my project based on, is a 1.5 by 3 inch piece of lumber. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. These are the worst pieces to do it on, especially since I'm using the construction or the contractor saw, sorry, so I don't have an outfeed table built for it yet or anything like that. And these are over 6-foot boards. The rest of them are not that long, so they're much more manageable. However, this one is gonna have to go through the table saw. I'm just really not excited about it. Got my push sticks out. It'll be super safe, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so that worked out better than I thought it would. I ended up with two 1.5 by 3 inch square studs, which is great. They're pretty flat and square. Made sure they were not as warped as I could find them at Home Depot today when I was buying them. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the rest of the bottom frame pieces, go ahead and rip those down to size, then we'll assemble the bottom of this frame. Yeah, let's get after it. All right, so I don't know if you can see my face. The challenge here is gonna be keeping this thing flat and square because the boards are, like I said, construction lumber studs. They're a little warped, so we'll just see. We'll do the best we can. I've got my 36-inch clamps out to do so, and then I'll pre-drill holes, and you know, that's as best as we can get. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, something I hadn't done with the last bench that I noticed immediately after finishing it and regretted was I didn't reinforce the frame very well, and therefore it was kind of wavy, sagging in places where there should have been more support. So maybe a little overdone this time, but I've really gone out to support and add braces and things like that to the structure, the frame of this workbench. All right, we're done with that. My measurements were a little off on where these braces needed to be, and I'm not totally sure why, because that last one is a bigger gap than the other three, so who knows. Either way, it's pretty good. It wobbles just a little bit, and that's because corner to corner, it's about 3/8 out of square. Which is not a lot. I've definitely built worse, keeping in mind that this lumber was already warped when I built it, but it's really not bad. It'll sit on casters and those levelers that I used on my last workbench, and more of them this time instead of just 4 for that big old heavy thing. So I think that will do. What I'm gonna go ahead and do though, I think I'm gonna end this video here. We've already gotten quite a bit of content. This will be part 1 of the table saw and planer workbench build, and then we'll just keep rolling right into it here. Hopefully have this done pretty soon so we can jump into the storage lockers and things like that. But yeah, that's a wrap for this video. Let me know what you think about the SketchUp design in the comments. But yeah, we will end it there for this video. Again, Happy New Year's, everybody. Glad to be back. I'm super excited to show you guys the things I've picked up. We've expanded our shop's capabilities a ton already in this new year. I'm going to get to learn a bunch more, teach a bunch more about how to tune, I don't know, a drum sander. Might have one of those finally. Show you the benefits of a track saw. Might have gotten one of those too. So really excited about the content coming up. We're going to build some great things, build this great shop, and then get on to some pretty cool cutting boards that I'm real excited about. So thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been 5 o'clock Woodshop. As always, like, subscribe, comment, and share.